have landed on the right video because today I'm going to share with you three S's that you need for success. Success secrets sometimes are overlooked because they're so simple that they hurt. Now, I'm going to throw in a bonus, fourth S, but you have to stick around to the end for it. Thank you for tuning in live. I appreciate you. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat. Listen, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Gregory Rutledge, and I am a confidence catalyst and clarity coach. And I'm just here to bring clarity so that you can move confidently in the direction of your dreams and achieve whatever it is that you desire to achieve. So, recently, I took a detour on my life I went from waiter to grader, from $213 an hour to $250,000 a year. Was bored out of my mind working from home and decided to go back to waiting tables. I know it's crazy. I can make so much more money, but sitting at home working from home is not my cup of tea. It's nice, but no matter how much money you pay an extrovert, they got to get out of the house. So while I'm building my business, I'll be waiting tables and sharing these secrets that I'm learning, these things that I'm learning that are helping. It's like a refresher course. I mean, God just called me to go and do this, and I almost argued, but then I was like, okay, I think I see what's going on, but I don't, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to be obedient. And so these four S's I discovered today just kind of came to me on my drive home. And the first S, I'll get into that in just a second, but I just want to tell you one thing real quick. The waiter to grader journey, the skills that I gained as a waiter, I don't think people understand just how valuable waiting tables can be for their life, business, and everything. Just the transferable skills. And it doesn't have to be waiting tables. It could be hospitality. It could be warehouse. Anywhere you work as a foundation in your life has transferable skills. It's like math. It's stackable. So I work right now at Texas Roadhouse, and it is amazing. And we open on the 14th here in Avondale, Hazlitt, up here in northwest Fort Worth. It is the only steakhouse in a 20-mile radius, I believe. And it is going to be the busiest. And so in order for them to be successful, they need a system. That's the first S. This is a writer downer. You need a system if you want to be successful. There has to be something repeatable, something scalable, something that if you were removed from it, it could go on. Let's say if you're building a business and your business can't survive without you, you do not have a business, you have a job. Right now, I don't have a business. I have a job because I can't just walk away because I don't have a system yet, but I'm building that. And so I want you to understand what a system is. What is a system? So for Texas Roadhouse, they have a system for everything. Every area they trained us on today, there is a systematized way so that every Texas Roadhouse that is opened operates the exact same. They know what to expect when they come to Texas Roadhouse, the guests. They know to expect service from the heart, and heart is an acronym. It stands for howdy, engage, arrive, respond, and thank you. And that, I'm not going to go into the details, but that is how you remember as a server what you're doing at each stage during the steps of service. Now, Cheesecake Factory had something way more complicated. It was the 13 steps of service. I'm not going to go into that. Just know that it's etched in my brain forever, along with the menu. So systems, like what is the system? And this is part of the experience, right? I'm an experienced designer. We design the experience from the time you think about doing a thing to the time you complete that task, but there is a system behind it that makes it operate. So what's the system? What happens when people get to your parking lot? What happens when they walk in the door? What happens when they sit down, right? Those are all things that you can make predictable and make repeatable. So systems. What happens when someone learns about you? What is the next thing? Like, what do you want them to feel? What do you want them to think, say? What do you want them to do? How do you want them to interact with you? How do you want them to feel coming in and going out of your presence? Think of those systems and then document it. You have to have some sort of what is that called? Standard operating procedures, SOPs, like something that If you gave it to a completely brand new person, they knew how your system operated and it would be repeatable and scalable for someone else, right? Someone else could do it and you wouldn't have to be there because you have a system and you have it documented. So that's the first S, systems. What is your system? Now, imagine a place where people could just come and go as they pleased. Would that be successful? Drop it in the comments. Like, would it be successful if servers could just come in whenever they felt like it? Or if someone could just come into work whenever they felt like it and just kind of do whatever whenever? No, absolutely not. So, what do you need? You need a schedule. Every time I say that word, I feel this rumble in my tummy. Like, I don't like schedules or um, routines as much as I need them. I don't like them unless someone else makes them for me. So, you know, my wife has to put me on a schedule. Thank you, Wellness with Giovanni. I appreciate you. Not at all. No, it would not run. Systems, good. Not at all. It would not run without a system, would not run without a schedule. Thank you. Thank you. I love it. Participation in the chat. So, schedules make for predictability, reliability, and consistency. You have to know when someone's going to show up. You have to know repeatably when they're going to show up so that you know when to like you can rely on Fox News or CBS or whatever news station. You know you can rely on them to at least air news 2 times a day, right? Maybe I don't know. They're air news all day, right? Um, Need to schedule content, and I'm just not feeling it. I get it. I need to schedule content, but guess what? When I go live, I don't have to schedule, I don't have to edit, and it makes me think on my feet. That's another transferable skill I got from waiting tables is thinking on my feet, being able to just get on, go live, and this is it, right? Because every table you walk up to, you have to be on stage. So it's yes, scheduling content is great because then it's a system, it's repeatable, right? And it's on schedule. Uh, Going live too. Well, there we go. Um, Going live is my favorite, but scheduling content is perfect for when you can't go live. Like, let's say you're traveling, right? This is that systematization. If I'm traveling and I have something scheduled to go live, right? Or scheduled for later, then cool. That makes it, thank you, Andre. 5 stars. I love it. I'll leave that up there for a minute because that feels good. So schedules, like what time are you going to show up? How long are you going to be there? Um, what does that look like from day to day? Like, is the schedule different from Monday to Tuesday? Is it, Monday, Wednesday, Friday is a certain schedule? Tuesday and Thursday is a certain schedule. Texas Roadhouse is open from, I think it's 4 to 10. Any day that there's school the next day is 10. And any day that there's not school the next day is 11. They stay open an extra hour because they want to honor families because they're a family friendly restaurant. So for me, I've been trying to think like, what would my schedule be? Would I show up like my mentor Myron, Mondays and Thursdays? Do I go live those days or so that we're not competing? Do I do Tuesday and Thursday? Not that I'm any competition, I'm just saying. But I want to be able to catch his stuff. And so like think about the schedule. What time are you going to show up? For how long are you going to show up? How often are you going to show up? And what are you going to do during those times? Right. Um, there's different mindsets when you're running a business. You have your sales, you have your content creation, you have your admin. And if you don't have a team, you cannot context switch all day with these things. It does not work for brain types, especially the entrepreneurial, visionary brain types. Like, we can't context switch like that. Yeah, I got to have a day for content creation where I'm feeling it, where I can just get on and make content, batch record it back to back. There's got to be a day where I'm doing sales because I cannot be a coach and a salesperson on the same day. So if I'm doing sales, that's what I'm doing that day or in that time, right? If I'm doing coaching, that's what I'm doing in that time. But if I try to coach as a salesperson or sell as a coach, they don't mix really well. So that's one thing. So that's the second S, schedules. When are you going to show up? How long are you going to show up? What are you going to do in that time? And then, so this is great. When you go to a Mexican restaurant, they give you chips and salsa, right? You didn't have to pay for that. They just give it to you. That's service. When you go to Texas Roadhouse, they give you fresh baked bread. We got these what do you call them? Gestures for everything. There's hand cut steaks, ice cold beer, legendary margaritas, fresh baked bread made from scratch sides. Fall off the bone ribs. That's my favorite. You can't even see it. I'm just fall off the bone ribs. It's great. So, fresh baked bread is given as a gift to every guest, and it's given before they pay, before they even have to do anything. They get fresh baked bread before you do anything in a Mexican restaurant. All you have to do is show up and sit down, and you've got chips and salsa. How are you showing up for your people in your business, in your world? How are you showing up first and giving first before you ask for anything? How are you serving? Listen, the greatest lesson I ever got in my life was from serving, and it was all about service. Service is one of those things where, you know, the Bible talks about it all the time. It's all about serving. Like, how may I serve? Those four words will change your life. If you stop thinking about what's in it for you and you start thinking about what's in it for them, that will change your world forever. Think about the times when you've received excellent service versus the times where someone has come to you and they're just like, what do you want? Right? I think one of my pet peeves, and this is probably because I've been a server for so long in my life, is when someone comes up to the table and they're just like, what can I get you to drink? Or what do you want to drink? And it's like, hi, I'm great. Thanks for asking. Or, what do you want to eat? Like, I don't know, recommend something. What's the best thing here? Like, interact with me, have a conversation, ask me what I'm up to, or like what my flavor palette is, or like make this an experience. Let's have some fun. But you know, we're like, I love one of the things they say at Texas Roadhouse is we are order makers, not order takers. So we are finding out about the guests, where they're at, what they're feeling, what they're kind of what are you in the mood for? Are you trying to stay healthy? Are you feeling cold? Are you feeling steaks? Are you feeling fried? Hand battered and deep fried. I'm sorry. These gestures are great. They help you remember everything. So, like, serve. How may I serve? What can I get for you? How can I help you? And if you do that first, then this last bonus S this is a okay, so maybe it's not the last bonus S, but it makes this last one easy. So we've got systems. Yes, that's cinnamon butter though. Systems, schedules, service. These three S's will be the S's for success. But let me tell you, if I went to any restaurant, Texas Roadhouse, Mexican Inn, Via Grande, on the border, whatever restaurant I go to, and everything was free, how long do you think that place would stay open? Not long at all. I'm pretty sure they'd probably last 2-3 days before they went bankrupt. So, what is the fourth S? Can anyone put it in the chat for me? If you're watching and you know what this is, what do I have to do in order to sustain? Yeah, not long at all. I'm gonna go with, yeah, somebody's gonna say it. Sales. Sales. I knew it was coming. You were typing it, see? She knew. She knew. Wellness with Giovanni. Y'all got to check out her channel. It's awesome. So, bread is the only thing that's free. The rest is value-based pricing. Like those steaks, they have value. They're going to make you feel good, feel real good, right? Those burritos, those enchiladas. Oh, I'm talking about Mexican restaurants now. Thank you, Andre. All right, I've got my team. Let's go. All right. When they sell to us, they can show up at a higher level because they have the oxygen in their business. Money is oxygen. Money is blood. Money is energy. Money is good. But we have this programming that says money is bad. I shouldn't ask for money. I don't want to be greedy. Money's the root of all evil. And, you know, guys, money may not be the most important thing in the world, but I promise if we stop caring about it, we wouldn't make it far. Because money, as much as we love to hate it and hate to love it, it makes the world go round. And it is just an energy exchange. When I give value, money is a byproduct. I don't have to ask for money. At some point, someone's going to chase me down trying to give me money because they don't feel right just taking from me. Myron Golden is a perfect example. This man gave so much value up front for free on his YouTube, and I felt guilty taking it because it was working. I went from when I first started watching Myron, I was making $65K. And by the end of 2021, beginning of what was it? End of 2022, beginning of 2023, I was going into making 250K, accepting an offer for 250K a year. And someone asked me when I invested in his program back last year in May, did you get a return on your investment? I invested 55,000 for 1 year. And they asked me, did I get a return on my investment? And I felt embarrassed to say no. And then I felt like there was something wrong with me. Like, you hadn't, I didn't, but it's not Myron's fault. It's my fault because I didn't take any action, because the imposter syndrome set in, all of this overthinking set in, and I didn't do anything with what I learned. But when I think back, he did say something like this. He said, if you serve first, if you make your community service content so good that people would pay for it, like, don't give away anything that you wouldn't charge for. If you make your community service content so good that people want to pay for it, they start thinking, if it's this good for free, what's on the other side of the paywall? So your community service content has to be good enough to sell. Don't give out anything for free that's like, those people that pretend to teach you something so they can sell you something. Don't be that. Give all of the content, all of the good stuff away for free. And when they come in on the other side, teach them how to do that thing. So when I finally got to the place where I met Myron in person and I had an opportunity to take an offer, the 55,000 for me was just a thank you for all that I'd already gotten. Everything I got on the other side of that investment was a bonus. The people I met, the circles I got to be in, the bonus masterminds that came with that program, the life that I get to live, the rite of passage. I can now charge 55,000 because I know what objections to address at that level. I know what kind of value to produce at that level. And I know the difference between a $25,000 a year, a $55,000 a year, a $375,000 a year, and $1 million a year client. And believe it or not, the $25,000 a year clients still need their hands held at times. They still need some kind of training and direction and guidance. The 55,000, you can let them come off mute and ask their questions. They're pretty good. They'll take what thing and run with it, most of them. The 375, they got a team. You tell them what to do, they go do it. They make their money back in the first move, right? The $1 million people, they got a team. They go do it. They make 5 to 10 times what they spent on it. And I've just watched this over and over again on repeat. Like, you just see the different levels of people, and it's not paying for, like, it's not the payment's not the transformation. If the payment was a transformation, I would have got a return on my investment immediately. The payment is just you investing in yourself at that level, you believing in yourself at that level to invest. Let me address these comments. So, make a community service content so good that they're interested on the other side of the paywall. Absolutely. Come on, vulnerability and growth. Let's go. Yes. And then, love that, knowing the objections to address at that offer level. That is so imperative. Like, I can't charge an amount I'm not willing to pay. And most people buy like they sell, or sell like they buy. That's right. Most people sell like they buy. I have a story I tell every time I think about this. I went to my friend's restaurant, Fresco's, Eleazar. If you've not been to Fresco's, there's one over here in Keller. There's one, I don't know if it's still one in South Lake and one in the Colony, but the one over here is still there, and it's amazing Mexican food, but that's not part of the story. I'm chasing a rabbit. So I ordered with my wife and my brother-in-law and sister-in-law and nieces, and they gave us these cups with lids on them for my brother-in-law. And they gave the cups without lids that were smaller for kids. And I thought, this is silly. Like, if they spill, that's going to be more of a mess than if they just got these cups with lids. So I asked for a cup with a lid. And I asked for a kid's cup. He said, those are our kid's cups. I said, you don't have a cup with a lid? He said, no. Well, why does my brother-in-law have a cup with a lid? So I said, so can you give me a cup with a lid for the kid? And he's like, I'd have to charge you for that. And I'm like, I didn't say I needed it for free. I need a cup with a lid. Give me what I need, right? But since he thought I don't want to pay for it, he thought I wouldn't want to pay for it. And so instead of telling me it's going to be this much for the cup with the lid for the kids, He told me he didn't have it. Now, think about this when you're going to sell your product, right? Or when you're going to sell something and you think someone can't pay you. So you either don't make the offer or you cheapen your price or you talk yourself out of the sale. Think about this. How many of y'all are doing this? I know I've done it, right? We sell like we buy. I had to rationalize with him, how much do you get paid per hour? He's like $15. Okay, cool. So is it cheaper to just give me the cup, or is it cheaper to have to mop up when these kids spill everything? Which one is better? And he's like, well, I guess it would be easier to give you the cup. I was like, now I'm not asking you to give me the cup. I'll pay for the cup gladly. But wouldn't it save you so much time and effort to not have to clean up these kids' drinks after every time they spill? He's like, yeah, I guess that makes sense, right? A lot of people don't think about value. A lot of people don't think, period. Like if I can remember, the one thing I got the most in Myron's program this last year was thinking is the hardest work that most people never do. And because of that, if you just think just a little bit, you're already doing better than most people. So let's review. These three S's plus that bonus S are going to be the S's for success. Systems. They need to know what to do. Like, you need to know what to do, when to do it, how to do it, and you need to be able to pass that on and delegate. Schedules. They need to know when you're going to show up, how long you're going to show up, what you're going to do during that time showing up. Predictability, reliability, consistency. Guys, this is all I have. It's just, like, I just wrote real quick what I was going to talk about before I talked about it. I have stalled for so long, and I'm saying this this little sidebar for anyone that's been overthinking their content. Like, a script is great if you can read ahead and if you practice it enough times, but don't get so bogged down in what am I going to say and how am I going to say it and am I going to seem right? Just it's already here. It's already here. Just take the bullet points and get on the camera. Right before I started, I was like, oh gosh, and Tiffany said, Nike, just do it. Art Williams, just do it. Completely the truth. Take that time to think, reflect, and make it happen. Thank you, Clyde. Hey, I needed this today. See, this is what I'm talking about. When I get on here and I got this costume of a script on, nobody says I needed this today. They come on and they leave, right? So thank you. I'm glad that it's helping you. Fresh baked bread is given as a gift at every table, so serve. They give you the bread before you pay. How can you show up and be there first? Like, I got a couple of UX people on this call. So in your designs, in your career, how can you show up first? Like, instead of saying, I'll show up when they give me a raise or I'll show up when they give me the promotion, how can you show up and lead ahead of time? How can you show up and, like, even if you're interviewing for a new job, like, how can you show up with something tangible, something of value before they even need it, before they even expect it, so that you stand out amongst all the other applicants? How can you show up with value in the meetings before anyone ever needs it? Are you taking notes? Are you asking good questions? Are you, like, what are you doing that is uniquely you that you can do to stand out? Service. And then bread is the only thing that's free. Everything else is based on value. And you charge, you sell. It is your moral obligation to sell something to people if you have something good to sell, because people don't value what they don't pay for. You are paying by paying attention right now. But if you don't pay, you don't pay attention. The only thing you have to pay me for this broadcast is your attention, and I thank you for paying attention to me for this 25 minutes. Stacy says, people first before profit. Absolutely. Listen. Be bold and courageous. Do everything that you do with passion. And I promise, guys, you'll have a life that you love. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you the next day. I'm going to go live tomorrow after I get done with my shift tomorrow and tell you what has come to me then. But until then, thank you for being on this Waiter to Greater journey with me. I'm going to prove to you that Waiter to Greater principles work by going from Waiter to Greater again. Literally. waitertogreater.com, waitertogreaterbook.com. Is it waitertogreaterbook.com? Yeah, waitertogreaterbook.com. Pre-order your copy. The ebook's ready. The layout is almost ready. The print version is almost ready. You still get the workbook with the pre-order. You'll have to print it, but hey, $20 for a pre-order, workbook, book, and bonus chapter on overcoming imposter syndrome, which is what everyone needs. Come on. waitertograderbook.com. Be bold and courageous. Do everything that you do with passion. I promise you'll have a life that you love. See you in the next video. Thank you.